Hey everyone, it's Chantal Girardi from Online Business Marketing, and today we're going to be talking about how to get testimonials and what to do with them. So, online marketing, I mean, so many more people are online right now, shopping and doing their shopping online. They don't even seem to mind the postage so much anymore, especially if you position yourself well. So testimonials is becoming more and more prevalent right now, and in fact is a critical factor for people who are going to make a decision as to whether or not you're trustworthy or not, and whether or not they're going to spend their money with you. So if you're looking at picking up potential customers online, having testimonials can be absolutely powerful. They increase your credibility and your brand authority, and they also do help business owners make a decision. They basically will choose you over somebody else just based on customer feedback. But how do you obtain these testimonials? We will be talking about that today. The good news is that testimonials are a free marketing strategy. And if you're from South Africa like me, you love free. So anything that's free. So it is a strategy. It is free. You just have to get savvy at it. Okay. I didn't say it was easy. I said it was free. But people don't just want to hear from you how good you think you are. They need to be able to see from other people how they enjoyed your product. And when we talk about product, obviously we mean your service product or your product. Because it comes across as a legitimate, unbiased opinion, as opposed to a sales pitch. It's a little bit more informal, and it works well as a referral, basically, from someone else. So just like a word of mouth referral from somebody else who's used your services. It's a great way for you to showcase the direct impact that your customers feel when they have worked with you. So they have a feeling of that experience, right? So a good testimonial can compel a purchase. It was awesome. Testimonials are not going to compel a purchase. So sometimes it's going to be important. Sometimes it's going to be necessary for you to offer your customers some guidelines on that process and the type of wording that you want to use. Also because it does affect your SEO and your algorithm, which I'll talk about a little bit later. So we may sometimes need to guide our audience on the type of testimonials or language that we want. And often I'll do that. I'll go, guys, I'm just sitting here right now. And whilst I'm just doing this, I'm just going to ask you to go and do a testimonial for me. And I act busy so that they've got nothing else to do. And I said, it might be good for you to mention, how you felt before, how you felt afterwards, what was your biggest learning, because I'm just giving them some feedback or insight into how the type of language or the words that I want, because else they forget and they just go, oh, it was great. It was wonderful. I got great results, but it's very non-specific. So you may need to prompt or give some guidelines on that process to be able to help them. So as I said, client testimonials are crucial for the algorithm and for SEO, because the keywords that they use is natural language, meaning that it's natural language that they are using. So this person helped me with creating a funnel online. It's the words that they would use, and those are search engine optimized words. And as they put that into your social media or your Google, that is going to help other potential customers be able to find you as well. So those words become super powerful. They improve your reach and increase your visibility. So according to Big Commerce, 72% of customers say that positive reviews and testimonials make them trust a business. Okay, 78% of consumers say trust them more. 88% of customers trust online reviews as much as a personal recommendation. So even though they don't know that person, just seeing that and feeling that and just seeing that testimonial, that review, gives them the confidence to make that decision as if it was them. So you also cannot overlook the added benefit of using testimonials as a learning opportunity for you as a business. Okay, because negative feedback or any feedback can give you insight into your product, your customer service, or even the sales process that you had. Another example that I had was I purchased these buckets with these sealable containers. And the lady contacted me and she said, look, you've actually ordered 2 lids by mistake because the one actually comes with a lid. Great customer service. And I said to her, could I give you some feedback that actually on your mobile, when you go to check out, your messenger chat button is sitting right on top of your checkout button. And she was like, no one has ever told us that before. And I said, well, I wanted to give you that feedback because if I hadn't gone onto a desktop, I wouldn't have been able to purchase. So you would have lost all these potential buyers on a mobile because your live chat button was sitting over the checkout button. I could not physically check out on a mobile. She was like, whoa, nobody told me that. So feedback is valuable insight into your business. And we should encourage feedback. And often people don't take the time to do it. But getting testimonials or doing customer surveys are great ways to do that. So why are testimonials important? Well, firstly, they serve as an endorsement. From testimonials serve as an endorsement from satisfied customers or potential customers. It shows them the positive experience that people have had with your products or your services. This instills confidence in your brand and encourages prospects to take action. Lost my spot. Okay, so number one, it's great for social proof. Okay, so testimonials provide social proof. And obviously gives us a great opportunity to be able to share that content around everyone else. As I said, also in the buying, when people make a buying decision. Number two, it's great for authenticity. So testimonials give real life feedback from actual customers. So people know that, in fact, you can actually see when they fake, when they don't make sense. But when it's an actual real life feedback from an actual customer, it's perceived as authentic, it's perceived as genuine, and they provide a sense of reliability and trustworthiness in your brand. People are not going to spend money with something that is fake or doesn't look trustworthy. Number three is emotional connection. Testimonials are often written in a personal and relatable tone. And as I said, that's really important for SEO. And it gives an emotional connection where they go, oh, I feel like that. I'm looking for the same thing. Well, I'm feeling like that too. So it's actual real life words. And it can help drive conversions by compelling people just by having the same emotional connection and words. Number four is differentiation. Testimonials can highlight what sets your product or service apart from your competition. They can highlight unique features or benefits that resonate with your target audience and differentiate your brand in the marketplace. So if somebody doesn't have testimonials, or the testimonials say, hey, they were great, it was awesome, as opposed to having testimonials that say, I really enjoyed the customer service, I enjoyed the process, Leah was amazing to work with. When they hear that, they immediately have this will and this want to work with that person. And in fact, I remember Penny's husband, Lee, our first conversation that we had, Penny, I think you were standing in the background, and Lee said, Chantal, you're one of the only marketing agencies that I've seen that actually has real life testimonials on their page from real people, and screenshots from people that have actually had results. And it's so true. I mean, you'll be amazed at how many marketing agencies are out there, and yet they've got the poorest marketing ever. And I know our live audience can share some of that at the end of today. So differentiation, as I said, is really important, because when people are choosing or making a decision, your point of difference is going to stand out as well, based on what the customers have said and just on having them alone. So let's have a look at how you can obtain testimonials, because people kind of freak out and go, and I think it's possibly because people have this perception that it's an easy thing, and it's not. You actually have to have it as part of your strategy. And your strategy requires work. It requires action. It requires taking a step to do something. But because we don't like it, we don't do it. And I'm going to use sort of the example that I used on my Facebook page today, and it was from that podcast that I listened to, where they spoke about perception. And they said perception is a fear of failure or a fear of success. And I was like, whoa. So it was really interesting to hear that. So sometimes we take like a fear of failure of trying, or fear of the responsibility that comes from the action that we take in order to get it, or the process that we have, that we kind of just put it in the too hard basket. Okay. And we go, oh, it just doesn't work, or it's hard, or we need to get a third-party provider. But if you get a third-party provider, you in essence have to do exactly the same thing. You still have to follow a strategy, and you've still got to go and get those testimonials. Okay. So how do we obtain those testimonials? Well, first, acknowledge that it is going to require, it is a free strategy, but it does require work. So you are going to have to take some necessary steps. Number one is literally my A word, and that is ask for it. And in fact, asking for it in the excitement phase is the best way to get testimonial, meaning if you can determine at what point the excitement phase is for that customer, that is when you ask. Okay, that is exactly when you ask for feedback on that. And often saying to them, I'd really like to be able to help more people like you. People feel like they're doing something for humanity, not just something for you. So it doesn't feel like a chore. It feels like a social responsibility. So I find that asking for them is the most important. And in person is ideal. So in person, over the phone, you've kind of got them right there. And then, as I said, I just kind of act busy. When we're training restaurants or retail stores, we always say to them, oh, whilst I go and get your receipt for you, I'm just going to go get your receipt to put your card through. Whilst I do that, could you leave us a review? Here it is. Here it is. Let me show you where it is. Because that's the other thing. Some people are not leaving testimonials or reviews because they simply don't know how to, and they lack the confidence in doing it, and they don't want to ask you how because they feel stupid. So if you assume that everyone doesn't know how to do it and you say, can I walk you through that, or can I help you with that, before they get a chance to look like a fool or say, I don't know how to do it, they will say, sure, show me, because they're also learning something. And a lot of people do want to actually learn how to do that. So picking up the phone and calling someone in that excitement phase, speaking to them one-on-one, as I said, if you actually have a retail store, and doing it right then and there is absolutely vital. Making it super easy for them is really important. So having a QR code that they can scan and do straight away is really easy. Makes it really easy for them as well. Remembering some people are better on Google, some people are better on Facebook. So make sure that you ask specific questions that will prompt them to share their experience. Prompt them, okay? Number 2 is you can share it in your social media and in your messages. So you do need to keep an eye on your social media platforms and have a look in the review sections, and obviously you can comment, but you could also create a post and say, if anybody has used our services, could you please share your experience with us? Why I've said messages as well is often people will message and send me a message in Messenger or a text message, and I will take that screenshot. And if you go to my website, I've actually got a scroll of text messages from clients that have said, awesome, I made that sale today, or awesome, I was able to increase my followers by just changing from a personal profile to a business page, or, oh, I've never felt less overwhelmed, because I have that. And I take a screenshot, I save it in a folder in a file so that I can use that. So if anybody says anything about the VIP program or creating a website for them, whatever they say, we will screenshot that, keep that, and then we can use that as social proof. So monitoring your social media and your messaging between clients, looking for those testimonials and that feedback, and obviously saving them somewhere to repurpose. So number 3 is offering incentives, things like competitions. I just received, as I said, a bucket with a lid today, actually this morning, and in there was a little postcard, and the little postcard said that every month we run a competition and where we choose a review, someone who's taken the time to put a picture up and share their experience with the product and how you've used it. So they've prompted them, and then said at the end of the month we will share and we'll give a voucher. So you're not allowed to say, leave me a positive review, but you are able to ask, can you give me some feedback as to how you found the product, what you used it for? So offering incentives, running competitions, discounts, freebies, exclusive access to anybody who leaves it. And of course, we are asking for images as well, because any public image that they share is content that is public access, and you can repurpose that content. So you can use that on your website, you can use that in your emails, you can use that anywhere if they have a screenshot. And now you don't need to get a picture of someone using for example, barbecue arm, because we've actually done we did a time lapse. We did a 1-minute time lapse on how to set up the barbecue arm. And we created that content. They can now use that content because it's now public. So Yeah, so just offering incentives. So number 4 is in follow-up emails. And I'm really, really sorry, but realistically, follow-up emails don't work that great unless there's an incentive. If you just have a follow-up email that says, hey, you've recently bought a product from us. We'd love it if you could leave us a Google or Facebook review over here. If you do not offer an incentive, it is very unlikely that you're going to have somebody do it. It is really important that you use the right language that is going to compel them. And again, sometimes just saying something like, I'd really be able to help more people like you, or Penny would say, I'd love to be able to help more parents with their children. So it's a lot more specific. The language is a lot more specific, because now they're going, oh, leave me a testimonial or review, as opposed to, I'd love to help more parents have educational toys for their children. They now feel like they're doing a good deed. They're more likely to do it. So your language is really important. And of course, you can use a third-party provider in order to collect that data as well. They are usually paid services. And with those paid services, they have a process. So please test those processes. With our live audience previously, we were discussing the pros and cons of that. But it is important for you to consider your customer's journey. When is their excitement phase? And then look at the process of those providers and see whether or not it's a 2-step, 3-step, 8-step process where, in fact, you're possibly losing out on reviews rather than gaining them. And also hiding the negative reviews in that process, weigh up the pros and cons. Is it going to look a bit suspicious? Because in essence, if people look at your reviews and only see positive ones and no negative ones, is that going to now make them think that you're a bit dodgy? I mean, we all know you can't please everyone. And also, as I said, it does give you an opportunity to respond to that feedback, learn from that feedback, respond from that feedback, and be able to deal with it in a respectful and authentic way. So number 5 is being able to create a case study from those testimonials. So when you're getting those testimonials, if you're not getting testimonials, and this can often happen in industries that are sort of like relationship coaching, lawyers, where people don't want to share sensitive information, using that information as a case study and still asking for them to share that information with you, but then using it as anonymous and using it as a case study can help you highlight success stories from people. And that way would then show your audience in that example that you actually respect the privacy of other people and that their information would be private. But they could still see the case study of before and after and how somebody benefited from using your service or product. So how can you use testimonials in your online marketing? You can have them on your website featured under as a testimonials page, which I encourage you to do. You can have them on landing pages. So if you have a particular sales page or landing page, for example, that talks about my VIP program, where you can be live and have the Facebook group and have access to support and be part of these group masterminds. When we share the landing page for the VIP mastermind, the testimonials that we have are relevant to the VIP mastermind. So we actually we save them in product files so that we can actually post them on those pages. Number 3 is on social media. So again, taking those particular testimonials, sharing them on social media, either as screenshots, either as quotes, or either as case studies. You can share them as testimonials on Facebook and LinkedIn, and Google. You can get testimonials. However, platforms like Instagram and Twitter, you can't leave testimonials, but you can showcase in your content testimonials. All right, so number 4 is in email marketing. So again, sending out an email featuring a particular product or service that you have and sharing a testimonial case study to be able to validate or give it credibility. You can use it in paid advertising and in your promotions as well to show that you're not dodgy, that you do actually you're real and you have actual real life people who love what you do. In video testimonial. So video testimonial, you can either just take videos of people. I often, I save them in a playlist under testimonials in YouTube. Therefore, if anybody says to me, especially B2B, do you have any testimonials? I can send them an email and go, here, have a look at my testimonials. And they literally click the YouTube playlist link. It takes them straight to YouTube where all my video testimonials are saved together. So they can go through and listen to that. But again, you can share that video testimonials, stories in Reels as content on your website, your social media. And as I said, even as a playlist on YouTube. Number 8 is your, hold on a sec, we've done, third-party providers. So when you collect them from third-party providers, as I said, it is an additional charge. You can use industry-specific review sites where they can actually, again, you just have to look at the service to see whether or not they're actually creating fake testimonials for you, or whether or not they are real, or whether or not you just have to have a look at who they are and what they're actually doing. It is interesting to note that, oh my gosh, is it true? Oh, where did I write this down? You have to also look at who they're affiliated with. I'll find it for you and let you know. I'll put it in the comments. But Google has now affiliated themselves with, I think it might be, I don't want to lie, TripAdvisor or Trustpilot. But when they're affiliated with a company, you don't have to worry so much about whether or not it's actually going to affect the reach, because it's actually going to support them. So you just want to make sure that they're in bed together and they're not sleeping in separate bedrooms. You know, like the example I said of when you take a reel from Instagram, repurpose it into YouTube Shorts, they are not sleeping in the same bedrooms. It's not going to help. But in Google, have a look at which platforms are actually in bed with Google, because obviously that's going to support you. And Facebook is one of those. So a couple of years back, Facebook reviews would not show in Google. They do now, which means they are in bed together. And then a testimonials page, having a dedicated testimonials page is really important as well. Again, if somebody says, you know, can you send me some proof? You can say, here's a link to my YouTube playlist. Here's a link to my testimonials page. Here's a link to, you know, my Google and my Facebook review page, where you can look at our reviews. So should you use a third-party provider? As I mentioned earlier, you just have to do your Googles and do your due diligence, make sure that you know who's sleeping with who, and have a look at their process. So their process in your customer journey, is it a match? I know I worked with a company and they were sending out an email asking, this particular company that they got was sending out an email asking for a review before the person actually received the product. Now, is that going to peeve off somebody or not? It's going to peeve them off if they get it to go, it's going to straight away make them think, I haven't got my product yet. So it's going to bring their attention to how slow the postage is. Okay. And then when they do get it, that chance is gone. They've changed their feeling about it. They've changed, and they probably haven't got a reminder, which means now they might want to leave a review, but now they haven't got the email. So you do have to look at the process and go, does this process actually work with me? So I did go and have a look, and there was a couple of statistics around the traffic, okay, that review websites get, which was quite interesting. So Google My Business gets 19.6% of traffic and works across any businesses. Amazon, which is e-commerce related, gets 63.6%. So it seems that Amazon gets quite a bit of reviews. Facebook gets 23.1%. And it's interesting to note that Facebook was, that was for both e-commerce and product-based businesses. Yelp gets 87.5%. TripAdvisor, which is mostly related to food, restaurant, and travel, gets 50.4%. Again, you do need to consider the industry. You can understand that with food, restaurant, and travel, 50.4%. Think about yourself. Are you likely to leave reviews in those industries? Yes, you are. It's a bit harder in other industries to get reviews, more positive ones, because people are happy to give negative ones, but less motivated to give positive ones. Yellow Pages gets 70%. And again, that's any business. Menta, some of these I don't know, 67%. And Foursquare 19.3%. So testimonials are an asset for your business. You can use them in your marketing strategy, but you do need to go and take the time to work out how you're going to get them. personally for myself in all of my businesses. So when I'm talking about this, I talk about in South Africa when I was starting my personal training business, here in Australia when I started my personal training business, here in Australia when I started my marketing business. When I did that, I went and I got case studies and testimonials. I went and worked for free. I gave amazing customer service. I made sure that I got results, and I got those testimonials right off the front, because it will completely 100% increase your ranking online, your visibility online, your brand trust and authenticity online. Super, 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 super important. So if you haven't done it already, consider how you're going to do that. I know for our product-based businesses, giving away free samples can work as well, but making sure that you don't get taken for a ride with influencers, and that there are clear guidelines in what that product swap is for, and making sure that you have the right person, leaving that review so it doesn't come across as inauthentic. All right. So in order to be part of the live audience and to do the next little bit, which is actually going to be talking about each of the businesses that are live today, how they use testimonials, how they use them, how they get them, problems they've found, and any solutions they may have, you do need to be part of the VIP audience. And you can find the link in the bottom of the blog or in the comments below. And you can join and be part of the live audience.